What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Broad Street Coverage Podcast. It has been a while. We've all been busy finishing up our school years and stuff, so it's been a while. Uh, I'm here today with Nate, Philly Sports Gang, and Nick, 76 Nation. I'm Philly Sports Today, and we're going to touch on all four teams today, some more than others. To start, we never really did a season breakdown for the Flyers. Basically, it was a disaster. Just really unfortunate after they had the one seed last year. I mean, I know they got the one seed through the seeding bubble games, but still, just a really disappointing season. They were in a tough division with the Bruins, um, Bruins,
Caps.
Islanders, and Penguins and Caps. I mean, those teams are all tough, but I thought
The
for sure
pro
we'd be better than the Pens this
the
year.
problem is, um, we play the Devils and Sabres 8 times each and lost like a good
Yeah,
amount of those games. Like
yeah. No, we
that
were
was
just bad this year.
we
Our
were just
best
awful.
goalie was Moose. Um,
Defense was awful.
yeah, like Carter Hart really regressed.
Fletcher did nothing to replace Niskanen after he retired, and did
Yeah,
nothing to improve the team at all in the off season. He
yeah,
kind of just
and
rolled with the same team and expected.
it was just announced today that we have the 13th pick, which is, I mean, I guess that's mid. I mean, it's not great. It's good, not great.
Definitely not what we'd want after such a just dreadful season.
Funny thing is, though, we were still above 500, so
Yeah.
like it seemed so bad,
hmm
but like our division was just that good too. Like we had one less point than Montreal, and they're in the playoffs right now, and they just won game one of the second round.
Yeah.
So the
Like
whole like Canada North Division, like divisions. I mean, actually, I have no idea what's going. Like Canada is so far behind the U.S. in terms of easing the restrictions, so I have no idea what's going to happen with the NHL next year. But I really hope that it's back to somewhat normal.
Yeah, it was ridiculous this year playing. Like, I
The
mean,
same 17.
they do it in baseball, but like you're still playing other divisions in baseball. You're still playing other
Yeah,
teams. You just
well,
play your
that's
division
different.
teams. Like,
That's a lot.
yeah, that's yeah.
Because it's
Like
two
I
different
just
leagues. Like it's two different. It's basically two different leagues.
like
One has a DH, one doesn't. I
having
mean,
having a 4 game series with the Devils in a 56 game season. That just shouldn't be happening.
no, no.
Like, and only playing those teams. Like, it's just it was ridiculous.
Yeah, I think I I I really wish hockey would go back. Like they used to have the same format as the NBA. I don't know why they changed it. It should just be 1 through 8 in each conference.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously this year was different, but I don't know why they have divisions where it's like you know what I mean?
hmm
I don't really like that. But um, regardless, the team they wouldn't have made the playoffs in a regular year with the way they played either.
Yeah, for sure.
So
It's
um,
gonna be interesting to see what they do. They could start clearing house. They could
like I'm really
trade
not too
Giroux.
caught up with who the free agents are in hockey. Obviously, the season's still going on, but I
hmm
feel like we could use another goal scorer, like just somebody. I forget who's available. I heard that we might, and I don't know that we might put together a trade offer for Jack Eichel, who's
Yeah,
wasted away on the Sabres right now. Um, I'm not so sure. But he would be a huge help.
hmm
Um, but yeah,
I don't know if they're gonna be buyers or sellers. Like, it's just gonna be interesting, I guess.
I don't. If they were sellers, and they would probably get rid of um Giroux. Well, I don't know.
hmm
Well, I mean, I guess they would. I guess a contender would take
Rorschach.
Giroux, right?
Yeah,
Voracek. Um, we're gonna have to see. I think hockey. The thing about hockey is it fluctuates so much. Like a team
yeah.
can suck one year and then they're really good the next year. And the Flyers in recent history have been on an every other year. Uh, like they make the playoffs one year, they'll miss it the next year, make it,
hmm
miss it. So I mean, maybe next year will be better. But yeah, hockey's a sport where a team can go from bottom of the division to top of the division in a year.
For sure.
So
We'll see.
we'll just have to see. So yeah, that
Guess we get.
wraps up the Flyers. As for the Phillies, the last time we were on this pod, I'm pretty sure we were in a lot better shape than we are right now.
And it
We
hasn't
just
been
scored
pretty
17
since.
runs last night or yesterday. Somehow the team's still in second place, but we have 29 losses. The Mets have 21. I mean, that's a big difference. I mean, they have one more win than us and 8 less losses, and they've been. I know we've been injured, but the Mets have been really injured too. So
Yeah, like they gotta make something happen fast. Like, remember, what year was this? It was like 2018. Like when the Nats won it all, they were like what? Like
they were 19
10
and
games.
31, 12
Yeah,
games under 500,
like
and they went crazy. They got the wild card. They
if the
beat the Brewers in the
Phillies,
wild card and won the World Series.
if the Phillies want to make the playoffs, they got to make something happen fast. I guess Bryce is coming back tomorrow. I guess
I would hope.
Friday.
I mean, he needs to get back on the field, man.
Mm.
And what's the I haven't really heard any news
Didi.
on yeah.
I'm pretty sure he should be back soon as well. I saw something today that said he should be. I'm not positive though.
We just need to get healthy. I mean, like this lineup has the potential to
It
be so good, and we have had some solid games, but even I don't know. It's
it
just
wasn't clicking in the beginning, and then we just started getting hurt, and we haven't really had this like our full lineup since.
yeah. Luckily, we have luckily it's only the start of June. I mean, we could make up some ground this month. I mean, we still have what 4 months,
Yeah.
three and a
Oh,
half.
July, August, September.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, um, there's a lot of time, but when the Mets they just have a solid roster.
hmm
Um, they have a better pitching staff than us. Their bullpen has been really good. Even with Lindor struggling, they've just had other guys step up. In in they I think what's his name, McNeil has been out. They've had a lot of guys out. JD Davis has been out.
hmm
Alonso was out for a while before he just came back. Obviously Syndergaard's out. Carrasco's out.
Yeah.
DeGrom got hurt.
Um, what do you say?
DeGrom got hurt too.
Yeah. But he's back, right? He
Yeah,
pitched
pretty
against the
sure.
D-backs
Yeah.
the other, I think 2 nights ago, so he's back. But yeah, the Mets are just a solid team. You can never count out the Braves, even though Marcelo Ozuna's probably done for a year, probably 2 seasons. I mean,
But yeah,
Odubel was
maybe
out for what,
two.
2 seasons?
But like Odubel, I'm pretty sure he wasn't charged with like the
Yeah, he
as
settled with her.
severe.
What
Yeah,
exactly did Odubel do? I don't really remember. I know we like I did
he
he
like
like hit his
He
wife or
he like
girlfriend?
yeah, he
beat his
beat up his
girlfriend in like
girlfriend,
the AC casino in one of the AC casinos.
but
Like just
they
punched. I mean,
but they
I
agreed
I
on
don't
settlement, so I
know.
don't think it'll be as bad as Ozuna's.
Yeah,
yeah,
Zuna has like
because the cops
serious
walked in on
charges.
him. The cops walked in on him choking his wife or whatever, and hitting her with his cast. So yeah, he's screwed.
But yeah. Um, one thing I wanted to bring up was just how like just god awful the Phillies have been on defense like this
Oh
season.
yeah,
Like
it's been really bad.
I haven't been watching the games just because like we happen to have like a day game like every time I'm working, but like I'll see it on like the big TV and like just like it's just pathetic. Like, and
Yeah,
I'll hear about it when I get home. It's just I don't
it's
understand.
really it's really unfortunate. I mean, to be quite honest, they just don't really have like if you look at each individual position, the guys just just not great defenders. Reese is a below average defensive first baseman.
Mhm.
Bohm is like probably a bottom 5 defensive third baseman.
Yeah, like I want to bring that up too. It's sad because like he started off the year like pretty good on like
Yeah.
he was making some plays, but
hmm
he's just awful now.
I mean, he still makes the occasional nice play, but he's
Hmm.
just not a good. He's not a reliable defender. And Kutch has his speed has hurt him. He's just not been tracking fly balls the same. Odubel is pretty good in center. Um, right field's been all over the place right now. But when Bryce is in, Bryce is a solid defender. He has a really good arm, but sometimes he misplays balls. But I mean, it's going to happen. I don't really care. It's Bryce Harper.
Yeah,
I'm not as worried about
and
him.
then Didi has just been
Well, yeah. Well, Didi's been out,
when he
and
was
shortstop
playing.
has been. But when Didi has played, yeah, he just boots grounders a lot. He's not. He's just not a great defensive shortstop, and
Hmm.
when you put all that together, it's difficult. But it's the MLB. Like most of the time, they're going to make the plays, but it's just this year. I feel like we've all been witnessing way more errors than usual. Like
Yeah,
it's just it's just the team just can't click at the same time.
hmm
I saw a
Like
stat that
Nola.
said, oh, yeah.
No, go ahead, Nick.
I saw a stat that said Phillies third baseman gave up the most amount of runs for any team or any position. So
Wow.
that's
Well, yeah,
a
that
big
makes sense.
part due to
that's mainly
Bohm.
Bohm, and then I
Yeah,
guess
Brad Miller plays there
Brad
sometimes,
Miller
but
yeah,
played a little bit there. But yeah, the biggest problem with the Phillies is and always will be the ability to develop talent. We just can't develop talent to save our lives. Like Bohm, sure, yeah. Other than that, Mickey Moniak, awful. Scott Kingery, awful. We don't know about Bryson Stott yet. I
Maton.
know Cornelius Randolph has been pretty good. Oh, Maton too. Maton has been good so far, but we still don't know. I mean,
Spencer
um,
Howard has not been spectacular
he just
to
has
say the
zero
least.
stamina. Like
I
he'll
know
Yeah,
throw
he
he'll throw
starts so well.
96, 96, 97 for 3 innings, and then his fastball dips so much, so
Connor
fast.
Brogdon had a fantastic start, and then he had that one start where he just completely blew it in like the seventh, I think it was. It was like a month and a
Yeah,
half
but
ago,
I,
but
I
and
still
then
think Brogdon will be good.
yeah,
He has good stuff. He has a really good changeup.
hasn't
Um,
Ranger Suarez been like
Yeah, he's been
decent since
playing
he
well.
yeah.
got called up?
Um,
I've always liked him.
yeah. Our bullpen pieces aren't terrible. But Alvarado is so hard to watch. He just can't throw strikes.
Mm,
Like every time he comes in, I cringe because I know the first batter is going to get 3 balls thrown to him right away, and then maybe one strike, and then he'll throw another ball. Like he throws gas. He has a nice slider, but my God, that guy cannot throw strikes.
hmm
It's just really frustrating. Neris has actually been good overall.
Yeah.
Um, as for the starters, Eflin has not been what we expected.
He's been
Um,
average.
I mean, I didn't expect
I
like
expected him to take a leap after last year,
yeah. I
like
think
two to
you
three. Well, maybe
expected
not
more
two,
from him
but
than
I
I did.
expected him to have like a low threes ERA potentially.
Doesn't he have that?
He don't. I don't think he does.
Let's look at his.
Maybe he
Uh,
does, but I feel like every time I've watched an
No,
Eflin game, he gives up like
his
4
last run
runs.
or his last game put him over 4 ERA.
He has a what? What does he have?
4.1 ERA. His last game put him over.
I mean, for a
I mean,
third
yeah, he's a
starter,
4.1, and his expected ERA is 3.57. I mean,
yeah,
that's worse than last year, though. Like last year, his numbers are better.
yeah. Um,
His
he ended
FIP
up
is
with a
also.
3.97 last year,
Mhm.
but that was because it was a lot worse to start the year, and then he got a lot better. I thought he would carry that into this year. He was our best pitcher down the stretch. of the
Yeah.
season last year. As for the rest of the starters, Wheeler has been fantastic, obviously. Nola has been underwhelming. Velasquez had a bad start his last time out, but I think overall he's been pretty good.
Yeah,
Like,
but I'm just afraid that now he's just gonna go back to the Vince we all know after that start.
it's
But who
possible.
knows?
It's definitely possible, but I think for
Wheeler's
what,
just been fantastic though.
yeah. I mean, Velasquez didn't start the year as a starter, so for
Mhm.
what, I think he's like everybody's gonna have a blow up start. I mean, it happens.
Yeah,
And I think he's been good for what we expected. He's always had great stuff. It's just always been about command, locating. Like he throws hard. He has nice off speed. But it's always just been about command and his stamina. Like it's rare that Vince goes more than 5 innings, but if he can give us 5 good innings, that's great.
definitely better than Matt Moore and Chase Anderson. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. It really sucks that Spencer Howard's not better by now.
Mhm.
We could really use him. We could really use another really, I don't know, above average starter. Like,
Yeah,
but I think one thing we can finally say that the center field position is fine. I mean,
Mhm.
Ojula has been so good for what I expected. He started the year slow, which is obviously going to happen after you miss 2 years. But recently, he's been one of our best hitters.
for sure. I'll
Um,
admit I was wrong.
I mean, like I could see why you didn't want him to. Well, obviously you want the team to succeed, but I could see why. I don't know. It's
Well,
hard.
it
Like
wasn't even that. I legitimately just didn't think he was gonna be good. Like he was playing pretty poor baseball before the
Mhm,
incident happened,
yeah,
and then have taken 2 years off,
yeah.
essentially
I
2 years.
agree. I could definitely see why. I predicted him to be bad too, um, but I knew he would be better than Roman Quinn
Oh yeah.
uh, and
Who?
Hazley.
I mean, by the like, we're not Roman Quinn fans, but it sucks to see him
Oh yeah,
go down
yeah.
with an Achilles tear.
Because he
Like you don't
was
want to
actually
see
starting to
anyone.
play a little better,
You don't want to see that
and
happen to anyone.
this
And
could
didn't he like
actually go ahead.
go
What were you
ahead?
saying?
No, I was just saying, didn't he like hustle after like he tore it, like didn't
Still
he get that
scored
on
at
himself?
Tampa.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I didn't see it happen, but
he's always been a huge hustle guy. And the thing that really sucks about this injury is it could hinder his the only reason he's in the MLB speed.
mhm.
I'm pretty sure
Like I don't
isn't
know
it
if he'll
his
be as
second
fast.
Achilles tear?
Yeah,
Yeah, that
I mean,
sucks.
I don't know if he'll come back the same player, like the same. Like he's already. I mean, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but he's already a really bad MLB player. He's in the MLB because he can field, he's fast, he can lay down a bunt occasionally and beat out a base hit. But if his speed's gone, I don't think his career is going to last.
Mhm.
So that's unfortunate. I'm hoping for the best for him. He's a good guy to root for, but he just hasn't really cut it. But hopefully the time off. Hopefully he can get his speed back, improve his hitting a bit, and maybe he can be a utility guy off the bench. But if you have Roman Quinn as an everyday center fielder, you're in trouble.
Yeah,
Um, so
we pretty much
looking
covered
ahead,
everything about the Phillies. Oh, go ahead. I
no, I was
guess we
just
can
saying.
say
There's
looking ahead.
just looking ahead. We've got 3 against the Nationals, 3 against the Braves, and 2 against the Yankees, 3 against the. Oh man, our schedule does not get any easier. So we have 3 against the Nationals. That's a must-win series. 3 against the Braves. That's obviously another must-win. 2 against
Mhm.
the Yankees. I'd be happy to split those. And we have 3 against the Dodgers in LA. Wait, no,
Mhm.
yeah, 3. I mean, I wouldn't be
Oh
surprised
my.
if we can win one. Sure, that'd be great. And then we have 3 in San Fran, and they've been really good. Wouldn't be surprised if we lost 2 of 3 there either. And then
Yeah, that
play the
is.
Nats again, then the
I did
Mets.
not know it was that bad.
Yeah. So we play Yankees, Dodgers. We play Braves, or Nationals, then Braves, Yankees, Dodgers, Giants.
then
I
the
mean,
Nationals again, and then the Mets.
I'd be shocked if we came out of this. If we came out of that stretch with anything close, if we like one game over, one game under, that'd be fantastic. But yeah, that just about covers it for the Phillies. Hopefully they can turn it around because I need to see winning baseball again. I can't handle another
Year of the
season
same.
of failure. 10 years.
Mm.
Anyway,
Moving on to something a little more lighthearted. Well, I mean,
yeah,
I don't know, not anymore, but the Sixers obviously closed out um, the Wizards tonight in Game 5.
yeah, it was a great game from Seth. Simmons had a triple double. Tobias played really well. Maxey was fantastic off the bench again. Dwight was really good tonight as well. So yeah, I mean it was a little rough in the first half, but a convincing fourth quarter, a convincing end of the third and the fourth quarter
Yeah.
got the job done against a really bad Wizards team.
Overall, like you can't be happy about this series. Like obviously would have wanted to sweep, but like that we just weren't going to win that game like the way it was going.
Yeah, I mean we blew them out three of the four wins. The first win we were just rusty because we hadn't played in a while. And then the loss, like it's hard to adjust mid-game to a star player getting hurt. Like if we knew going into the game that Joel was out, I think it would have been different.
And the refs were just
Yeah,
poor.
I mean I've been kind of complaining a little bit too much, but I'm not usually one to blame the refs. I'm not blaming the refs. Like obviously Simmons, if he knocked down his free throws, would have been different. But like we'll get to that too. But the refs are really bad. Like that block or the charge on Tobias and when he went into Gafford, that was obviously a block. The fact that we had to use a challenge when Danny Green poked the ball from Beal. I think it was Green, yeah. And there were just some other calls that were just getting everything. I mean, it's Russell Westbrook. He's one of the NBA's most popular players, so obviously getting one more game of him was important for them, I guess. I mean, I don't know. Like there's just I never think that a league is rigged, but there's just been some events over the past few weeks or months, I guess a month, that have just really led me to
The
believe that.
officiating's just been mentally draining. Like just watching like NBA games has just been
Yeah,
I wouldn't say ruined because like there's been some great games, but like every
you
night
still have
you're
to knock down
guaranteed.
shots. You still have to play good defense, but there's some. It's weird as
Like every night there's something.
Like the Blazers, the Blazers Nuggets game
foul, like
that was
a
terrible.
very soft reach and foul. Well, that they called a shooting foul first, which is ridiculous. But
and then I don't understand how. So they call a shooting foul, and Mike Malone used his challenge.
I don't think he used his challenge because they had a timeout still. I don't know why they didn't use it though. But either
I
way,
thought he
they
did
looked
use
at it.
challenge.
I don't know. Like
you can't
that's
just
what everyone
review a
was saying,
foul
but
without it being challenged, right?
no, I think they were looking at it like anyway. I don't know. I mean, I've seen that before sometimes.
Well, didn't
Pretty sure he challenged.
I think it was a challenge. I think it was because it said
I don't know. I could be wrong.
I think the challenge was if it was on the floor shooting.
No.
Okay.
Well, they lost their timeout though.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, because I don't even know.
The scoreboard said they still had a timeout. That's why I was confused.
Probably was
But
wrong.
that could have been wrong. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Go
ahead. So yeah, there's just been some rough officiating, but tonight we got the job done. Steph Curry, I love this is what we were missing last year. Another guy you can give the ball to and he can create for himself. Like he can drive the rim himself. He can get himself open for threes occasionally. Like he's I feel like he's better off the dribble than he is catch and shoot.
Mm-hmm.
Like when he takes
Tobias
those,
is like that too.
Yeah, when Curry takes those, when he dribbles, those mid-range shots are money. Where he faces a guy up, dribble pull up, those are money.
Some players are just like that, they're just
They just
better.
have better rhythm off the shot, like
Like when I
Dame.
play pickup, I would think I'm better off the dribble, like at shooting
Mhm.
than just catching and shooting. I don't know why. It's just
Yeah,
like
but yeah, Seth, if he can,
everyone. God, sorry.
no, I was just saying we're gonna need a lot of that from Seth
Yeah,
moving forward.
everyone played pretty good this series besides like Shake, but Maxi filled in what we would have expected from Shake anyway.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Shake's regression has been really sad
Mm,
because after the playoffs, he was our second best player in the playoffs last year.
yeah,
Well,
that's not
the
saying
only
much,
guys that
but
showed up in the
still.
playoffs last year were him, Embiid, Alec Burks, and Josh Richardson. The only guys that actually did anything. I mean, I wouldn't say Richardson was amazing, but he actually made shots, unlike Tobias. Um, but yeah, Shake, his regression is disappointing because we thought of him as a Six-Man of the Year candidate,
Hmm.
and to go
And
from that to being
uh,
he's not out of the rotation, but he's what, our eighth or ninth man now.
yeah, he averaged like 20 something points against the Wizards in the 3 games in the regular season too. Like it's not like
Well, he went
it's a
off in the
bad
first
matchup
game of the
for him.
season. I remember that.
He
Um,
played good like every game though, but it's not like it was a bad matchup. He just didn't have a good series, I guess.
is it just me, or has his shot turned into a line drive? Like,
He doesn't use his legs. He just uses his
Yeah,
arms.
it's really
that'd be a
annoying
question
to
for you.
watch because
Yeah.
like he was shooting above 40% from three last year, and this year it's like low 30s.
Hmm.
But he's always been good at getting to the rim. Um, I just think you can't justify playing him over Maxi right now, so
Yeah,
he's not going to. And it's really, really amazing to see yet another draft pick hit. Um,
for sure.
like we've been doing so amazing drafting in the late rounds.
Like Nick said
With
earlier,
Shamit,
uh,
Matisse, Maxi. Um,
Markel Fultz walked so Tyrese Maxey could run like Nick said earlier.
yeah, I mean, yeah, like Maxi, he's looking like he could be a really, really solid player for us. But the only problem is, I don't know if he's ever going to start because he doesn't really complement the starting lineup too well.
Hmm.
I could like a great compliment if we had the current team that we have now. Like he wouldn't be good filling in for Steph because you need a guy who's like a solid shooter there. Like he's a decent
Yeah.
shooter, but you know what I mean?
Hmm.
I feel like he's a great energy guy to run the second unit
Yeah,
in the immediate future, at least. Maybe in a few years he can start, but in the immediate future, as while we're contenders, perfect um, backup point guard.
for sure.
And
Um,
the rest of, go ahead, Nick.
I was just gonna move on
Oh,
to like how like
oh
we're
yeah,
not gonna have like Joel's injury, I guess.
yeah.
Um, it's just like I honestly thought he's gonna play tonight. I don't really care that he didn't, but like that's not a good injury to be having, especially like right now. It's only a partial meniscus tear, but
I
still,
just
like,
don't understand how that's dated. Like I'm no
yeah, I don't know
doctor,
how that day to day.
but like a partial meniscus, that doesn't sound good. Like
Like he
that doesn't sound
tore
like
his
something you come
meniscus.
back for on Sunday.
Yeah, like he tore his meniscus. His like first year playing his rookie year. I don't know if was that
Also, I don't
partial.
think
You guys remember that?
I don't think it was partial, but also if it was, I don't think they would have.
Well, also
Anyways,
I think
we
he just didn't play
they shut
because
him down
we
early
sucked
that year.
and yeah,
yeah.
we sucked and
We won
we're
what,
just
31
tanking.
games total?
Like no less than that, like 28. I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure it was 31, but either way, it doesn't matter. Um, but yeah, that was it just really freaking sucks because he's not going to be able to play. I feel like I don't know. It's going to cause him to settle for a lot of jumpers, which is him being in the game and shooting mid-range jumpers is 10 times better than him not playing. So
Yeah.
Because he's been absolute money from mid range.
I think we
But
beat the
also,
Hawks pretty easily even without him, so just let him rest until the Eastern Conference Finals.
I
Yeah,
was going to talk
that's
about
what I'm
that.
worried
I mean,
about. Like he's not going to be
like
fully healthy
Atlanta,
for the.
the Hawks are a solid team. Like I know I wouldn't be like I think we would win without Joel, but it would be scary. Like
Yeah,
they've
that's what I'm feeling.
like they're I trust me. I can already just quote me now and in a few days all of their shooters are going to be hitting every single shot against us. Bogdanovich, Gallinari, Herter, Lou Williams, all of those side guys are going to be hitting every shot against us because it always happens to the Sixers. It just always
What
does.
I'm mainly worried about is like, let's say Joel does play. Like I feel like the Hawks are just gonna just annihilate us in the pick and roll with Capella. Like
Mm-hmm. And I'm worried more about uh I'm worried most about containing Trey on the offensive side because we don't really have a great matchup for him defensively. Like we don't have
yeah,
like if we had like a Drew Holiday or somebody, sure, but like Simmons is really obviously Simmons is a great defender. He can guard 1 through 5, but a small shifty guard like that is difficult.
I think they might, or I think Doc might put Danny on him at least to start, like what he did in the regular season.
also
Yes,
like we said,
Trey got his in the game that he played against us, and then the
like we
first game that
said,
we played against him, that was just we were decimated with COVID.
yeah, I'm not really taking that into account, but
No,
like Ben
so
might have
basically
to
the one
guard
game Trey
Capella,
played
like
against
we
us, he had like
said.
30 plus.
Yeah,
And
like
Trey can
Cap-
be very inconsistent at times. So I'm comfortable with letting him taking all the take all the shots and just not let Bogdanovich, not let Gallinari, not let all those guys go off.
I just have a scary feeling Bogdanovich is going to go crazy or just somebody.
He was pretty bad against the Knicks.
He was good at he can hit some clutch shots. I know he was bad tonight. I didn't really pay attention to the 2 games on the road or the 2 games in Atlanta because they were both blowouts after like 3 quarters or 2.5. But yeah, I think it's going to be key, obviously, to key in on the other guys and obviously stopping Trey Young. But
it's gonna be odd, just the matchup, especially if Joel doesn't play. It's gonna be very interesting.
Another thing that I noticed tonight when we ran the small ball with Bennett center was the double teams. Whenever Gaffer got the ball in the post, there was another person coming over swiping at the ball, and it really worked a lot of the times, especially with Tobias. He's really good at that. Danny's pretty good with that too. So if they just get Capella frustrated down there, I
Yeah,
think.
that's true, but like definitely gotta adjust if he starts making like the right passes, especially because the Hawks are just a much better shooting
Well, one
team
thing
than
I
the
noticed
Wizards.
that I brought up the other day was that Capella had 1 assist in the last 7 games.
Yeah,
So
that's pretty ridiculous. I don't know how that's
He'll be able
possible,
to
but
handle a
like
double team.
hopefully that continues.
yeah, I think I don't know. I think the Hawks can be a dangerous team, but the Knicks are just bad. The Knicks are not good. Like
Yeah.
let's be real, their offense is pathetic. Like,
hmm
but also I think us even without Joel, I think we would beat the Knicks in 5 games. I'm not even kidding. Even
Yeah.
without Joel, their offense is just so bad. Randall is just
Randall's a fraud, like
fell
I
apart in the
said.
postseason. Um, I think another thing. I don't want us to get killed those in the bench minutes because I feel like that's possible. Like George Hill has been
Yeah,
amazing, Dwight has been really good, but the Hawks off the bench are solid. Like they'll bring in
I
Lou
don't know.
Williams,
I think
Herter,
Had a really
if
good
we just
series.
Gallinari.
continue if Maxey especially continues playing like he has been, like I'm not too worried about that aspect of it.
No,
But
yeah.
you're right. They definitely could. Our bench is pretty consistent.
We can't be doing all bench lineups against the teams in the later rounds. Just can't happen.
Have we been doing that a lot? Like
We've been doing.
I haven't really watched.
He's
I
been
only watched
going
one
like
game.
11. He went 11 deep tonight before halftime.
Really?
Yeah.
I think that's just like a Wizards thing. I doubt he would ever do that.
I would
against
hope it's just a Wizards thing. I would hope it is.
Yeah, I mean, we've been hoping
to
all year that he
put
would do this. But
Miles on the starters against the Wizards when the bench could probably beat them in 7 with just the bench.
Yeah. I think the key for the bench is obviously Maxey playing really well. George Hill has been amazing, but he's too passive at times. He needs to be a little more aggressive. I feel like I want to see him take control a little bit more and shoot the ball more.
mm-hmm.
Have you guys ever noticed I don't think he took a single shot tonight. I really don't. I'll look right now. Yeah, he played 14 minutes. He didn't take a single shot. And when he hits threes when he shoots them. So, so yeah, I think the bench minutes are going to be big. Obviously, the hardest thing is just going to be dealing with Trae Young, but I'm not too worried. Like, I just don't see us losing a single game at home to them. There's just no way. Like,
Yeah, I would agree with
but
that.
on the other hand, I wouldn't be shocked if the series is 2-2 after 4. We always struggle. I mean, we had a great road season on the road this year, but that's a little different. Fans are back in Atlanta. It'll be a tight playoff game with Ben Simmons handling the ball. But let's just. I think we're gonna have a better time in Atlanta than we would in New York. Like I said a few weeks ago, like a packed crowd, or a week ago, a packed crowd with Ben Simmons down the stretch. I don't know that.
I don't know. The Knicks just suck.
That is true. The Knicks do suck. Tobias
hopefully Hack Ben doesn't continue.
No. Yeah, that would I wouldn't be surprised if they try it. I mean, he did well tonight. He did a lot better.
What did he shoot tonight?
When they tried it, I think he was like 5 for 8 overall.
That's a lot better than 5 for 20 from the series, which is what he was
5 for 8. He was 5 for 8.
Because even though he's not like an amazing free throw shooter, he's still like 65.
Yeah, he shot like 67% this year.
Yeah.
Like,
and in that stretch where Joel was out, and he was averaging like 20.
He's a decent
75%. I just don't understand how he shot 25% for 4 games this series. I just don't know how he shot 5 or 20. Second worst, in a playoff series ever. Like that was just just sad.
One thing I also wanted to mention was, I know that obviously a coach should stick up for his guy, but do you guys find it a little annoying when Doc can literally not say a single bad thing about them?
Yep.
He can never criticize anything he does. Literally.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I don't
would it
know
be that hard to say, he played great tonight, but the free throw shooting could definitely improve? Like, you can't say that. Like,
I don't know how he said it was fine.
I feel like Doc would rather deal with it in house than.
Yeah, that's true.
But is he though? The
thing is,
since he got hired.
One thing when he did get hired, we expected to bring somebody in who would hold these guys accountable. He has not held Ben accountable at all. He's kind of pampered to him and said,
just keep doing
you're
what
elite
you
anyway.
want.
You don't need to shoot. He hasn't pushed him to shoot at all. So why would Ben have any incentive to shoot if his coach is not
apparently Sam Cassell has been pushing Ben, but clearly he has, because that's not working.
Well, I guess he's going to listen to the head coach over Cassell.
Yeah, that too. It's just the same old.
I mean, I'm not going to slander Doc yet because he hasn't done anything. He hasn't done anything to deserve slander yet.
Yeah.
He got us a 1 seed. We just won the first round in 5 games. But this is where the real test starts. I mean, I guess the real test starts in the Eastern Conference Finals, but still got to get there, especially if we don't have Joel. I mean, I'm still got to win the games.
Mm-hmm.
The Hawks are a lot better than the Wizards.
Maybe I'm just being biased, but I'm just really not scared of the Hawks at all.
I don't know. I wasn't, but they
I'm
can
not scared of
go
losing to
on.
them. I'm scared of having a close series with them, especially when that's what we're hoping the Bucks and Nets do is just tire each other out.
Yeah. I guess that's a concern. But I'm not scared of them, but I just know that they can get hot really fast, and the Wizards really don't. Like Westbrook is a momentum killer, to be quite honest. They don't really have a momentum killer on their team.
But they're all really young. Like Gallo's
That's a
the
good point.
only old, experienced guy.
Well, Blue Will too.
He played like 8 minutes tonight.
Well, I don't understand why. Like, remember
traded
when they
Rondo
first
for no
traded him, he
reason.
was going off.
That was the dumbest
He's
trade.
just really old.
Yeah,
that was a really stupid trade. I really liked the Hawks all season, and they just didn't they just got hurt all year, and then Dunn just never found time in their rotation, and then they traded Rondo.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, my prediction, like, I don't know because I don't know if we would wrap it up in Atlanta. So I don't want to say Sixers in 5, but like I don't know. What do you guys think?
I'm gonna say Sixers in 6.
5.
I mean,
But like,
fair.
I don't know if we would win it game 6. I mean, maybe we would.
I don't know. I'm not too
If
worried
it
about
got to 6, we would win it in 6. But I see what you mean by
Yeah.
sweeping them. Like, I don't think we would sweep and win in Atlanta. I feel that.
I would say 5 would be 5 or 6. If it goes 7, that's concerning.
Yeah.
But we're not
As
losing.
for the Bucks Nets series, I don't know. I don't know.
I'm a big Bucks believer.
I would like the Bucks to win because if we're gonna beat anybody, it's gonna be them, I think. But at the same time, maybe it wouldn't be them. Like maybe me. But I feel like with the Bucks, like I would feel more confident having home court against the Bucks and home court against the Nets because the Nets have 3 guys that don't care where they're playing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But the Bucks, like you can get in somebody like like our crowd could get in Giannis's head. They could get in Middleton's head. Like the Bucks are a team that I think that series would literally go 7 games with the home team winning every game. That's just my opinion.
My thing with the Bucks and the Nets is just like Drew, Harden has really just awful stats against Drew Holiday. But the thing is, he wasn't playing with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving before. That's the problem with the Nets. They're just such a nightmare. That's why we gotta hope. Even if the Bucks beat them, that means they're good enough to beat them, obviously. But we just gotta hope that the Bucks win because Embiid and Ben both have success against Giannis, guarding.
Yeah,
him.
I think
like you said,
Ben was great against Giannis in the
Giannis's
game
head.
where we were at home.
The cheap fouls, and then Ben couldn't be as aggressive.
Yeah, he got in foul trouble when he started going against Mike Scott.
Yeah.
So I think obviously the Bucks would be the better matchup for us because would you rather play playoff Giannis or 3 of the best ISO scorers ever? I think I would probably go playoff Giannis. But I just don't see them beating the Nets, to be honest. Nick, what do you think? You think that the Nets their defense is just so bad that they're not going to be able to?
And my thing is the Bucks match up so perfectly, and the Nets have nobody to guard Giannis.
The Nets do match up really well. Holiday on Kyrie, Middleton on Harden, and Giannis on KD.
Like that, you can't ask for no team.
Holiday is probably going to guard Harden simply just because he said if they look at the analytics, since he's had success against him. But
and
I don't know. I guess they had to put him on Kyrie.
You can just pick and choose who guards what, and you really won't have a big step back. That's just huge. And I don't think the Nets are going to be able to stop
I don't know.
Giannis.
I don't see it that way. I don't think they can just pick and choose.
I mean, like they can't just like attack somebody. Like they can't just switch
That's
like the
yeah.
screen and then just attack like
Well, I don't know who's
Connaughton
starting.
maybe. They started Connaughton. That might be bad. If they had DiVincenzo, I'd be a lot like.
Carson blows.
Yeah, is
Yeah, that's a big
Connaughton even
loss. That's
playing
a
for
bigger
them?
loss.
I'd
That's
just
like
take Connaughton on Joe Harris.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Well,
They're
doesn't Forbes
dangerous.
play a
They're
lot?
just. What'd you say?
Doesn't Forbes play a lot?
Forbes
Yeah,
does
Or
play a
does
lot. Yeah,
Condon still get the
and
more?
the Bucks bench is so good.
Forbes has been
I
really
mean,
good for
they've
them. So is
been
Portis.
Bobby Portis, yeah.
one thing about that too is that they were just like insanely hot shooting wise in the Heat series, and you don't know if that's going to continue.
Remember the
Like
games that we
obviously
played against
could.
them? They
Yeah,
didn't
their
miss.
bench went nuts. Even
Hmm.
their
Like, bro,
starters.
if that happens against us in a playoff, like I don't know. Like, if I'm being unbiased, I don't know if we would be. I don't think we would be either of them. But I
Yeah,
think that we. But having home, but I think with home court against the Bucks,
I
that
think we'd
could.
beat the Bucks in 7.
I think, yeah, I do agree that we. I think we could definitely beat them in 7. As for the Nets, like I just don't see us taking. Like, here's what I think would happen. I don't think we would take both home games. Like, I think that we'd probably take game 1 just because everybody would be so pumped up. Probably game 2 we would lose. Um, I think we. I don't know if we. I don't think we'd win a single game in Brooklyn. We'd probably win game 5 and then lose game 6 on the road. That'd be
the
my prediction. But
the main problem with the Nets with me is that like first off, we just can't guard them. Like
mhm.
Thibault's too much an offensive liability to play starter minutes against them. Danny Green, like I love Danny Green. Like I've been praising him all year, but he's not guarding Kyrie. He's
No,
not guarding.
Kyrie's our
He's not
biggest
guarding
problem in
Harden.
that series. We have good.
Yeah.
No, we don't have
Also,
good matchups for Harden and well, Ben is the matchup for Harden and KD, so he can't guard both of them.
mhm. And also, the Nets have been getting like every call. Like that's an
Yeah,
underrated thing to say. They've been getting every single call
and
down the
that's not going to
stretch.
change against us. I'm probably going to want to
But
throw
yeah,
something at my TV.
it's not going to change
Um,
against the Bucks either.
no, it's not. Yeah, that is an underrated aspect. I mean, the Celtics were bad, but yeah, there were some very questionable calls. But
And those
another
games
thing
weren't
that
really blowouts either. Like the Celtics hung around, like kept
the
it
Celtics did
8
hang
to
around,
12.
but at the same time, like, were they really going around? Like, I don't know.
I don't know. It was never in doubt that they were
Yeah,
the
like
Like
Nets were gonna
even
lose any of those
I
games
never
aside from Tatum at 50.
the one even where Tatum had 50, like the Nets still probably could have and should have won that game. Kyrie just had a bad game. Um,
Hmm.
but also an underrated aspect, like I know it's not as big of a deal for the Bucks or for the Nets, but I think Jeff Green is out for this foreseeable future.
I forgot about him.
Yeah,
Big
that's a
piece.
rotation piece. It's out.
I mean, same with Dante, like um, but Dante's obviously bigger for the Bucks than Jeff Green is for the Nets, but he's a nice veteran presence who can shoot. Um, so I think it'll be interesting. I think that they'll probably start DeAndre Jordan against us. They started Blake Griffin in the Celtics series. I
Hmm.
guess they'll start DeAndre Jordan against the Bucks too.
They might go
Probably.
small.
Because you can't put
Brooke,
Blake Griffin on Giannis.
Brooke just sits in the corner.
Work.
They could
I
probably go
mean, you could
small.
put KD on Giannis still, but I don't know. It's
Okay.
so when they you could put
I forget
KD
what
on
they
Giannis still.
do games that the Bucks and the Bucks just beat them twice. Obviously, the Nets didn't have Harden, but I don't remember how they guarded Giannis. Do you guys remember?
No.
I think they put Jeff Green on him for a lot of it.
Really? I don't remember. I just know that the Bucks won both games, but obviously
Blake too.
they both came down to the wire and they didn't have James Harden, so I don't know. And those both were playoff atmospheres because they were fighting for seeding. So it'll be
Hmm.
interesting. My hope is, like you said, a long series for them. Our best bet would be the Bucks winning. Uh, as for the Sixers, we just have to take care of business first. I mean, if we fail to make the conference finals this year,
It'd be
it's going to be
pathetic.
really unfortunate. It would be really unfortunate. Like, this is the easiest path we've had in how long? Like, none the path.
Forever.
Like, we should have made it. We should have beat the Raptors, but that was an easy path, obviously. Um, the Celtics in 2018, no, that wasn't easy either. We were a young team. This is the first time we've been like, in a while.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think if we, I would still like if we make the conference finals and lose a tight series to the Nets, I'll be crushed. But I would still consider that a successful season considering what we expected going into the year.
Mm-hmm.
Am
Yeah.
I cutting out again or what?
No,
Right.
you were a little bit, but it's fine.
Oh,
It,
okay.
like you weren't just cutting out. I heard what you said.
Okay.
Yeah, it definitely would be a success. It highlights how not getting Harden, like if we play the Nets, like it's just gonna highlight that even more.
Yeah, and the fact that it's not changing next year either.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's just the annoying thing. Like this team's not going anywhere for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I think like adding Lowry or someone like that this offseason, Lowry or we were talking about Ben for Dame, but that's not going to happen. I highly doubt that happens. First of all,
Uh,
I think Maury and Doc are too attached to Ben
Yeah, I
a lot
don't
more than
think
the fan base is.
I think we're getting a little too ahead of ourselves.
I don't think Maury is as much, but Doc definitely is. Doc's in love with him.
Yeah. I mean, so if we were to get Lowry in a signing trade, what would we trade?
I don't even know if I'd want him at this point, honestly. I
He
feel
was
like
really good, like
This
in the
is
end of the year,
this is
like
like
when he
this
actually
is off
played.
season talk.
Yeah, screw it. Yeah, why are we talking about this now?
Yeah,
My bad.
we nah, you're good.
We'll talk about this down the line.
We gotta see how it is out.
We'll see. We'll see how we do. We're not even through the second round yet. We'll see
Yeah,
how we do. So yeah, is that just about it on the Sixers?
yeah. I think we touched base on everything. So obviously we have yet to talk about the results of the NFL draft. Primarily the Eagles. The Eagles had a pretty successful draft, I would say. Like all the speculation turned out to be correct. We got Devontae Smith. We traded up with the Cowboys to select him.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it like I wanted to bring up how he was right because like everyone's favorite players, my favorite players, Jamar Chase and Kyle Pitts, weren't even there at 6, and how he clearly
Mm-hmm.
knew that, and traded back and got the extra first rounder, and still was able to get Smith, which is just a huge win, especially if like he can turn out to be the best receiver still. Like you never know.
Yeah,
Um,
I loved it. Uh, I was so happy when we made that trade. Um, as for the rest of the draft, um, Landon Dickerson, he if he never got hurt, he'd probably be considered one of the top linemen in the draft.
yeah, a lot of people do consider him the best talent, like at interior line. And
He's
if
been hurt every
that's
year though.
a boomer bust pick, like
It could
um,
potentially be Jason Kelsey's replacement.
yeah, if he stays healthy, that's a starter for the next decade. But if
Yeah,
he gets hurt a lot, then he's a bust. Like we're gonna have to see how he manages his injuries and his health.
yeah.
And then we drafted Milton Williams in the third
Mm-hmm.
round out of Louisiana Tech.
Louisiana Tech, yeah.
That was I was I'm getting to my big
It's so like
my
for
big
guys
thing
like
with this
that, like it's
draft.
just impossible to tell yet. Like we just gotta
Yeah,
wait.
Well, that and my big struggling to find the word.
Your
My
big
big
board?
disappointment with this
Oh, I
draft
thought you were saying it
was
was on your big board.
not getting an outside corner.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
in round 4, we got Zach McPherson out of Texas Tech.
Hmm.
And I mean, there's all the Eagles writers have been saying a lot of good things about him, but I don't know. He's only 5'11". It's just like obviously the Eagles probably don't view him as a slot corner, but he has the like frame to be one. I mean, there's small guys who play on the outside like Jair Alexander, but you know if they were gonna pick a player like that, they could have picked Asante Samuel Jr. instead of
Hmm.
Dickerson. I mean, I'm not gonna complain because like this is the thing with drafts, like you don't know until they play.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
It's
but I'm just
impossible to like everybody thought. Like everybody says they're winners and losers after the draft, and you just
yeah,
don't know. Like you really don't know.
like the corner depth on this team, like that's what I'm getting to. The corner depth on this team could really hold it back because I really like this roster, honestly. I think they could
We
surprise
we are
people.
we are
But
we're solid in a lot of places. I mean,
mhm.
our offense is going to be solid. Our O line is going to be are really good if healthy. D line obviously really good.
We got in the 5th round we got Kenneth Gainwell. That could be I mean Boston Scott's great when he plays the Giants, but like having another uh running back behind
Yeah, those
Sanders
late
who
round running backs can always be big.
who Sanders like he gets hurt a lot, like a good amount.
Hmm. Yeah,
Um
I hope Sanders breaks out again this year like he did his rookie year after he started getting the bulk of the touches.
mhm.
Um, I don't know. I'm just really excited to see Sirianni and how he does with this roster. I really think we're underrated. Like I really do.
Yeah.
Like a lot of it's going to
And
depend on Hurts.
I feel like I'm not just saying that because I'm an Eagles fan too. Like it just people don't realize how many games Wentz and Doug lost us last season.
Hmm. Yeah,
Like
like they're. I
there was
think.
rarely a game where you could blame like a major like part of the team. Like let's say the Rams game, Wentz was awful, but
Mhm.
um like our defense just was just Swiss cheese
No, we
that
couldn't
game.
get
Like
stops.
yeah, like
Um,
and the Seahawks game, Wentz was also like really bad, but like we just couldn't stop DK, but we still had chances to win that.
we did have chances to win the Seahawks game. We really should have won the Browns
We
game
were
too,
in
and the
like every
Steelers game.
game
Yeah,
besides
we were.
the Rams and the Cowboys.
And I think
At
it's
the
going to
end.
be similar this year where we're competitive, but not a playoff team.
Hmm. We
Like a lot of people compare us to the Panthers last year, like in a lot of games, but not quite a playoff team.
yeah. The X factor is really just like I said, just how much better Hurts and our new coaching staff do
Yeah.
compared to last year with Wentz and Doug.
I mean, like I said, worst case scenario, if Hurts is awful, then if he's awful, then we'll be bad and we'll have a high pick and we can draft a quarterback next year.
Hmm.
But I really hope that's not the case. I hope he. I can't stand people are putting so much stock in. I know that's all they have to base it off, but like let's be real. He had the Cowboys game was bad, and the first like the Redskins game we were injured and
We had like
playing for
5 drops the
nothing.
game too, and then the starters just weren't playing. Like Hurts did not make good throws that game, but
No, he didn't. He missed
like
that one
we probably
touchdown.
would have won if we were
We
trying
would
to
have
win.
won if we were actually playing
It's
to
the
win.
fun
We would have
became.
won.
Yeah.
That's how bad Alex Smith was.
Hmm.
Um, I think. Yeah, so I'd say like he showed a lot of flashes. Obviously, the Packers game doesn't really count. That was the first he played. Um, but the Saints game, like I mean, he beat a really good team.
Hmm.
Um, the Cardinals game, he went toe to toe with one of the best young quarterbacks in the league. And then the
Well,
Cowboys game was really bad. Just that was really bad. The whole team was bad. We couldn't get stops and we couldn't score.
mhm.
Um,
Overall, though, just a successful draft and off season um, from Howie, especially after like if you go on Instagram and just look at any Eagles post before the draft, it was just comments were all fire
how
Howie,
he's gonna screw it
fire
up.
Howie. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, we don't know how these draft picks are going to turn out. We don't know how this team's going to go up, but the outlook is a lot better than what it
Yeah.
was. Like, it was looking like we were going to be in no man's land if we
Yeah.
didn't have a good draft. And now we have like lots of assets. The youth on this team a lot more plentiful.
hmm
We made some good
I mean,
signings like Anthony Harris and Eric Wilson.
yeah.
That could improve the defense a lot.
I think we've done enough. I mean, we did as much as we could. Oh, should we talk about Julio? Like, what are your thoughts on
Yeah,
potentially trading for Julio?
just I don't. First off, I don't even think it's going to happen, just because
Yeah.
I don't think we're in that. Like Howie's going to check in on every player. Like
Yeah.
that's just what he does. I don't think it's going to happen because of just our lack of cap for this upcoming season. Like next season, we're going to have a lot, but like this upcoming season, we won't have a lot, and
I
I
just
just
don't think it
don't think
makes
we're in that
sense
mood. Yeah, it
to
doesn't make
trade for
sense.
him. Like, we're not in win now mode. That's like,
hmm
sure, if we were one guy away from the Super Bowl, we
hmm
were a receiver. But I was listening to the Philly Sports Radio the other day. They were saying like trading a first for Julio. That's basically it's using another first round on a wide receiver. Like,
Yeah,
uh, let's
an
see
old
what
one
we
at
have.
that too.
What do you say? Sorry.
Like an old one at that too. Like
Yeah,
Julio's
like he
what?
doesn't
Like
fit our timeline at all. So I would
Julio Jones age.
I would imagine that we
Yeah, he's like
wouldn't.
30. He's 32. Like
Mhm.
like that just it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Um,
Other than that, we just gotta wait till
the season starts.
OTA should start soon. So we should find out a little more about how we're gonna use some of the new players.
hmm
That'll be interesting. But yeah, we just gotta wait to see how it pans out. Definitely a successful off season, I would say.
For sure.
That pretty
Um,
much is that
yeah,
it?
that pretty much does it. Hopefully we can get one out sooner next time. Uh, I'd imagine that maybe after the first two home games in Philly, we can get one out.
Mm.
We'll talk about the series outlook and stuff. But anyway, thanks everyone, and until next